What is up, YouTube? It's me, HVJ here. How you guys doing? It is another deck profile overview, and this one is a very strange one. I don't think many of you guys really know about the Koa'ki meiru outside of maybe Koa'ki meiru Doom, and that's only because of Gallus. We're going to take a look at the overview about a deck consisted of various of the Earth attributed rock type Koa'ki meiru monsters. And why is this important? Well, because this is actually a deck that had a lot of promise, but never really took off, which is sad. Up until Emancipator, and where Emancipator took off really well. And I don't know for certain if they used any of the Koa'ki meiru monsters. They probably didn't, but some of the aspects of it could have easily been added into the Koa'ki meiru could have been easily added into the Emancipator and could have really been a good negation strategy for them. But I don't know. Sometimes some strategies work without other assets and some do. But the Koa'ki meiru are an archetype that is consistent of multiple monsters of different attributes, different types, different levels. And one thing about them is that they had a lot of beat sticks. They were really good at having monsters be inserted into other archetypes at a point to where they can be really good and resourceful to helping them out. One thing that did stand out was that Koa'ki meiru had a lot of really good rock monsters that had a lot of abilities to negate stuff. And that's what formed the deck known as Rock Stun, where it was an earth attribute, all rock type deck that consisted of several other Koa'ki meiru monsters to focus on having them as not only beat sticks, but being able to negate things and then being able to drop other monsters to help out with those situations. It's a really, really cool deck, and unfortunately, I can't really give you a time frame in which to really play it. I want to say hack format, but I also don't know because I don't remember most of the Koa'ki meiru monsters coming out before then, outside of Wall, Sandman, and Guardian, because I don't know if Overlord came out around that time too. But I do have basically a good core engine of it. And there's also one particular thing I do want to talk about is this field spell right here. This is Catapult Zone. So this card came out in Redo. That was Return of the Duelist, and that was the set with the whole range of Earth monsters that were really, really good in I think that was 2012, late 2012, if I'm not mistaken, because that was right before Abyss Rising, if I'm not mistaken. Because Abyss Rising had all the water stuff in it. You know, that was like the 6 sets that had each of the main attributes had a core set of cards and monsters coming in it, and it was supporting things. Yeah, that was the lineup that came in between 2012 and 2016. I mean 2013. And it was actually a really good time for Earthline because they got Madolche. They did get a couple like here and there cards. We did get the Prophecy / spell books. But one thing was particular was Catapult Zone. So this spell card says that once per turn, if a monster you control would be destroyed by battle, you can send one rock monster from your deck to the graveyard. And that actually filled up a lot of the resources for your rock monsters in terms of their abilities. Now, the only thing that didn't play out in this deck that I think should have been played out in this deck was the Koa'ki meiru base. But here's the thing, Koa'ki meiru core is always an issue. And I know it's like Koa'ki meiru core crystal, which basically treated itself as a Koa'ki meiru core, and you can reveal it for the effects of the Koa'ki meiru monsters. But there's just a whole lot of stuff that goes on with the Koa'ki meiru that also makes it really, really hard to play them, because you need to either have Koa'ki meiru core in your hand or a monster of their respective type as well in your hand. And while it worked well for some, it didn't work well for others. And only a handful of Koa'ki meiru monsters did get a good use out of themselves over the couple of years because of their additional abilities. But for Rock Stun, it was basically for the Koa'ki meiru monsters. You have Fossil Dynapass as a fellow, Gigantus, Block Golem, and I believe Doki came in Invasion of Chaos, or it came in one of the later sets. I do apologize because I'm sorry, guys. I don't remember most of these monsters came out themselves. But I feel like this was a very old rock monster, Doki, but it just didn't have a place where it could fit into the archetypes, because at that point in time, I think maybe it was just hard to fit in a really solid rock deck. But yeah, this is basically what an engine of Rock Sun could easily look like if they did not have Doki Doki. Then it's only just a handful of these cards right here, and it was basically just Rock Sun. Had a whole bunch of Earth attributed extra deck monsters that you can exceed into, like a Cowboy and stuff you can pop off. Maybe have a couple of, like, was it Soul of the Silver Mountain? Really good card there. It's just an array of things that you can easily have in the deck too if you want to play around with the different levels and different setups. So just a good refresher course of who's here and who isn't. So all four of the Koa'ki meiru monsters. We have Koa'ki meiru Guardian. Guardian's ability is that he will tribute himself to negate the effects of a monster. Then you have Koa'ki meiru Sandman, who tributes himself to negate the effects of a trap card. We have Koa'ki meiru Wall, who negates the effects of tributes himself to negate the effects of a spell card. You have Koa'ki meiru Overlord. Overlord negates the effects of monsters that are the summons of monsters by tributing himself to negate it. Fossil Dyna passes a fellow who is currently banned. Basically flips up, destroys all sorts of monsters, and then while face up on the field, neither player can special summon monsters. We have Gigantus, who comes in here as well. Banish a monster in your graveyard that is of the Earth attribute to summoning, and when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, you can destroy all spells and traps on the field. You have Rock Golem, that if all monsters in your graveyard are Earth attribute, you can tribute this card to target 2 level 4 or lower rock monsters in your graveyard, except for Block Golem and special summoning them. But their effects are negated on the field. Oh, but their effects are, yeah. And they cannot activate their effects on the field. It's old wording, but basically that's what it says. And then we have the Doki Doki. I think Doki Doki was used actually in Adamantipator for its additional ability. Where you discard a rock monster from your hand, such summon one rock from your deck, one rock monster with the same original attribute and level as the monster, as that monster in face-up attack position or face-down defense position. And then we have Catapult Zone. And then Catapult Zone, like I read earlier, is the field spell that if a rock monster would be destroyed by battle, you can send one rock monster from your deck to the graveyard instead, which corresponds with a lot of the other cards to special summon other ones from the graveyard. So yeah, that's pretty much Rock Sun in its core. You can pretty much fill out the engine of things there. Sadly enough, Rock doesn't, to my knowledge, have any legitimate cards to... I think they do, and I think it might be a tie with an Emancipator, but, you know, don't quote me on that because I don't know. But yeah, Rock Sun basically was just that. I know there was Earth Stun, and then some of the portions of Earth Stun turned into Trap Trick for a minute because of Trap Trick's early stages, but then Trap Trick turned into Hat, and then years later Trap Trick became its own thing. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I don't want to leave you guys any more than we have to, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can hit the notification bell to be informed when I upload more of my content. Socials are in the description box below, and I'll see you guys next time. HCJ signing out. Take care. Bye bye.